Hello and welcome back. The mastermind behind Liz's murder and the subsequent cover-up was finally uncovered. And, when you think about it, the identity that was revealed on the Blacklist Season 9 Episode 20 wasn't all that surprising. Red has always kept his operations separate. Everyone had a task to complete, but few were aware of the bigger picture. Marvin, Raymond's lawyer, had that kind of access and knew exactly where all the dead were buried, some literally. Since starting employment for Reddington, Marvin has been instrumental in keeping the trains on schedule. Red's closest confidant was Dembe, but Marvin's importance to his empire must not be overlooked. Marvin never trusted Elizabeth, who was Raymond's blind spot, as he indicated. Liz's behavior had been increasingly irregular over the years, so not having much faith in her was a wise decision. So, when Reddington was dying and planned to make Elizabeth his heir, Marvin did the proper thing and killed her. Sure, it was brutal, but it got the job done. Also, throughout the 2 years that Reddington was gone grieving and apparently dying, Marvin kept Raymond's organization operating, something Red failed to do efficiently. However, Marvin committed a catastrophic error. When Raymond returned, he expected him to have moved on from Liz, but instead he went in the opposite direction, striving to figure out who was responsible for her death. Coster, Cole, and both Lecroixes were among the bodies left behind as a distraction. The task force was also off its game as a result of this and putting Harold in a vice. The issue was that Reddington was devoting all of his resources to the probe, including Marvin. As a result, it was nearly hard for him to remain on top of everything Red was doing. Raymond was stalled by the task force and Harold, who didn't tell him what they were doing because they were afraid of what he may do. Based on what he did in this episode, that was probably a decent decision. To get a name, he shot and killed the head of the Caelum bank by mistake. He had Weecha run into Dembe and Wrestler's car to take her when he heard Hetty's name. It's a bad the Caelum bank fizzled out because it sounded like an intriguing concept. Raymond is still likely to face consequences because he essentially shut down a major financial institution for numerous crooks. This episode also demonstrated Reddington's dedication to uncovering the mastermind behind Liz's death. He killed a man who had been assisting him in getting the wrong name out of him for years. Hetty's name came up, and based on his and Liz's contacts with her, he should have known she couldn't have been guilty. What was Hetty's motivation for doing this? And how simple would framing her be? Red used Hetty's financial expertise once more. Despite admitting to feeling underappreciated, she never demonstrated the capacity to pull off something so complicated. If Raymond had been thinking clearly, he would have noticed. But he's currently too preoccupied. Many people have told him this, but he refuses to listen. It's fortunate that the Justice Department chose this time to remove Park from the field due to her physical condition. Without her presence in the office, things could have turned out badly. First, she discovered the flash drive containing information about Lecroix and Cole's scheme. Harold was given the alias of the scheme's mastermind, Claudius, by 2 other lawyers, but the ruse failed miserably. She then tried to persuade Reddington to accept her assistance because she felt abandoned by the FBI. While he did not suspect Marvin, her headache caused her to drop and smash her glass. Finally, she discovered the wedding film, which revealed Marvin to be the Lecroix family's best man. Harold reached out to Raymond just in time to warn him not to trust Marvin, but Reddington had already locked him on an aircraft. Red confronted Marvin after the expected discovery that Hetty was still alive. And he informed Raymond exactly what he had done, as if he had done him a favor by preventing him from having Liz as his successor. So he cleared Harold with one fell stroke, but it's doubtful if anything he said would have been acceptable in court. Marvin, on the other hand, made a critical error by threatening Mears, the only person Reddington cares about as much as Elizabeth. In the final 2 episodes, there will be hell to pay. Marvin has been hiding from Red in plain sight, but what happens when he becomes the object of Raymond's wrath? Even if she pushed herself too hard, it was fantastic to see Weecha out and about. Mears has worked miracles before, with Reddington and now with her sister. However, Weecha's breakdown indicated that she attempted too much too fast. Marvin was your mastermind, right? Park, did she prove her own worth? Is Harold safe or is he still in danger? Please share your opinions in the comments below. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more breakdowns if you enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you soon.